You've seen United, now fuck off them. You've seen United, now fuck off them. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Toon review for the Newcastle United 2, Manchester United 0 at St James's Park yesterday. Fantastic win for the lads. My voice is all out of the shop today, I have to say. But listen, screaming and shouting yesterday at the match, and rightly so. What a performance. What an atmosphere, what a game. Thank you to everybody that came up and said hello before the match. Everybody was expecting to win. The scorelines were like, everybody was saying 2-1, 3-1 and things like that. It turned out there was 2-0 clean sheet. How's your bloody father? Billy, tremendous work on the watch-along yesterday. Thank you very much for that. And we've got another one on Wednesday with myself as we travel to the London Stadium to face West Ham. But listen, cracking atmosphere yesterday. Every man on that pitch was absolutely brilliant yesterday. And we'll cover that in the player ratings. I have to say, I saw the Evening Chronicle once again, and I had to laugh. I don't know what some of these players have to do to get a decent rating, but we'll come to that. Two brilliant goals. I have to say, Callum getting a goal really did make the day, because he was, he's been struggling, and to get a header in like that. And of course, Maxi's performance, outstanding. Just the way Dallo didn't know which way to look. He didn't know. He just got the ball and he drove at the defense. Whether something came of it or not, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that he put the fear of God in. He set up the goal for Willick brilliantly, controlled header across the face of the goal. And, just absolutely superb. Alex, how are you feeling today after that? Because I know they've got a few monks go in your gym.
Oh, they're blooming everywhere. They're in the family, in the friends group, in the gym, everywhere. The only place they're not is at work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're absolutely everywhere. So it's amazing. It's amazing. It's revenge. I will be going to the gym after the show, and I will be wearing, I haven't chosen which shirt yet, but one of them will be worn. It's exciting. It's they've been a bit deluded this last couple of weeks. I have tried to explain to people that, Fabian Schär concussed, Nick Pope out, Isak not fit, Willick not fit. There were factors in that final that people were not taking into consideration. And it was all proved right yesterday with our near enough close to what our best starting 11 could be. Even with Joe Linton out the side, that's what we can do. That is what we can do. And it should have been more.
It could have been. And the chances that we had in the first half, Longstaff, obviously, it just didn't fall to him. It was a difficult effort that he had in the 6-yard box. He tried to swing for it, was very unlucky, because he tried a little back heel to Bruno running onto it, and it was very, very unlucky. Again, Isak, good header, good save from De Gea. The rebound just hit him. I've seen a lot of Man United fans saying, there's no other keeper in the league could make that save. It just frigging hit him. He didn't know it was there. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Sean Longstaff's thunderbolt from 20 yards, a foot to the left, and it was in the top corner. It was right in the postage stamp. So we should have been in front by half time. Were you surprised, Jack, before you answer that, we got a £5 super chat from Alex05. What a result yesterday. Competition for places at the moment is insane. There's only one true Bruno and one true United. Absolutely. Were you surprised at the time-wasting tactics from Manchester United, Alex? Jack?
Good start. No, because they've been ranting on about our time wasting, and I just see that comment right there from Chippers, Eric Tanag, talked about our time wasting. Well, you can shove it where the sun don't shine.
Yeah.
Because they were time wasting the whole game, and we weren't. We were the ones trying to keep the ball and play the whole game and try and keep the momentum up. They were the ones trying to stop it. So I'm very shocked because how much them fans have been chatting on about it all week about our time wasting. So yeah, I'm glad that they've got a taste of their own medicine, and we've been able to shut them up. So I'm very, very happy, and I'm very shocked.
It did cause a bit of a touchline barney, didn't it? Because in the second half, you know, the referee went and spoke to Nick Pope to hurry the game up, and not once did he do it to De Gea, which was just exactly as planned. Because it wasn't De Gea, he goes and has a word with him. Absolute shocking. Sophia's put that Luke Shaw was so disrespectful with his interview. He was. Said it was passion alone that won the game for Newcastle, Billy. It wasn't. We trampled them from start to finish yesterday.
Yeah, it was the best, you know, 1 to 90-minute performance I think I've seen in Newcastle United performance given the Premier League for over 10 years. It was fantastic. From minute 1 to minute 95 when the game was over, we absolutely played them off the park. 2-0 hugely flattered them. Serious to God, they never looked like scoring. They were second best to everything, second to the ball at every opportunity. They were out quality and out fought and out everything and outscored. It was a great performance.
Yeah, and I think what we need to say as well is we've said on this show many times, Alex, that we've been looking for a 90-minute performance, you know, not just a 45 or a 60-minute. We want a 90. And boy, did we get that yesterday. They looked refreshed. They looked ready to go. And, you know, that warm weather break, again, has done them the power of good, recharged the batteries. And we went at them for the full 90. We didn't sit back when we scored. We went for a second. We got a second. It was just awesome to watch.
Yeah, so I think there's a few reasons why we managed that. I think the first one, again, no disrespect to Callum Wilson, but I think having Isak helps. The press is a lot more efficient because you press as a unit, so it means the rest of the lads aren't quite as tired because Isak's doing his part, whereas Wilson's not been as ferocious in the press as he was in November. Secondly, I think technical quality was better. Willick in recent months has been getting better and better at little flicks and tricks and ball retention and bringing people into play. Bruno was at his best. Longstaff again is improving technically. A lot cleaner on the ball, forward passing. So just all these little factors together, we had a lot better ball retention. We could maintain that energy for a lot longer. Whereas earlier on in the season, we were sort of getting to 60 minutes and it was teetering out. Whereas we were sort of getting to 80. You know, it really helped bringing obviously Joe Linton and Gordon on, but we're getting sort of 80, 85 minutes and the lads were just going for every single ball. It just never dropped off. And then we got the second goal because we maintained that intensity. I mean, the goal came from, you know, ultimately a funny throw and Longstaff busting a gut. And that's where we got the Callum Wilson goal from. So just outrageously, so good.
There's a lot of people saying on in the chat already about the thumbnail, saying that they love it with Bruno Fernandes crying with a Manchester United dummy in his mouth. Fez has done a great job on the thumbnails. He's taken over that job from me, and he's done a brilliant job. So thank you, Fez, again for absolute genius thumbnail to come up with that one with our good old mate Bruno Fernandes, who twisted on. I believe that he felt he should have had a penalty. But that's already been proved that Fabian Schär, he won the ball first. And
is he with us tonight?
Who?
Bruno Fernandes. Is he with us tonight?
I don't know.
There he is.
He might be a German one. Bruno, how Bruno Fernandes? How was the match yesterday? How are you feeling today?
Oh, not so good. Not so good. Referee very poor.
Very poor, was he? Yeah.
Didn't understand the laws of the game. I nearly went Geordie there. And what?
You did. I'm gonna cut you off, Bruno. You're an absolute monumental bell end. I absolutely can't stand you, and sod off back to Portugal, sunshine. Good night. So there was Bruno Fernandes. We've got a 9.99 super chat from Zishan. Evening, guys. Like I said yesterday, forget the kids being born. Yesterday was the greatest day of my life. Me and my daughter against 8 Man United supporters. Brilliant. 12-man Toon, thank you for your £4.99. Apparently, Eric 10 quid asked for another ball. Referee asked why. 10 quid said because Newcastle have the other one. How are the lads? Man United fans coming at me this morning saying, well, we had more possession. And I was like, yeah, you passed it across the back line a few times because you couldn't break us down, you bunch of fannies. Anyway, very special announcement I'd like to make tonight. I had a message from Jane Gonley on Instagram, and she said that Dad is a massive, massive fan of the show, but he's not well in hospital with late-stage cancer at the moment. So asked if we can give Anthony Gonley a big shout-out from the show. So keep fighting, Anthony. We're all behind you, mate, and thank you very much for still tuning into the show. And obviously, we hope the lads put a big smile on your face yesterday. Thank you for being such a long-time supporter of the channel, mate, and keep fighting. Hopefully, Jane will stay in contact with us and keep me posted as to how you are. But a massive shout-out to you, Anthony, and please keep fighting. And hopefully, you never know. Just miracles might happen. Keep fighting, mate, and we're all behind you. So that was just a shout-out that I promised to Anthony. Get in sweet revenge, says Richard. Shamrock says, good evening, my TDR friends. What a glorious weekend. That result certainly cured my hangover. Again, I'd just like to say the Man United fans, an absolute disgrace yesterday. And throwing bottles in the streets where kids were just not right. That fan base, I cannot stand yous, right? And I will stand up and say that every single time. Yesterday's result for me was for my daughter after the abuse that she faced at Wembley. The fact that we came out of the ground and started singing "You've Seen United, Now Fuck Off Home" was just a joy, because the amount of fans that were singing that to us outside Wembley, it was awful. And then to do that outside the ground yesterday. So that one was for everybody who suffered the absolute abuse from them absolute pesticides of fans. Brilliant. Because they would well and truly shut up. They couldn't wait to get out the ground. That second goal went in. The away support disappeared. Mind you, they won the cup and the away and the support disappeared before they even lifted the trophy. So, what more can you say? Matt says, good morning, all you beautiful winners. Ab says the defenders were brilliant. All 10s for me. Chipper says that was a 2-0 if ever there was one. Willick was unreal. Yeah, we'll come on to him. Lewis says, evening, gents. Great watch along yesterday, Billy. Shame you got everybody's names mixed up.
Not everybody's.
Robson moment.
Not everybody's. Just a couple of them.
That's normally my job, Billy. That's normally my job.
I did confuse Bruno for Anthony Gordon at one point, I think. Part of the course.
Above, I guess.
I used to confuse sometimes John Joe Shelby with Joe Linton, for instance.
I don't know how you manage that.
It's the bright head bit at the top.
It's but John Joe Shelby's bald, Billy. He doesn't have any hair.
And white, of course. Yeah, he used to do it all the time.
Yeah. Greetings all from Saudi Arabia. Salah, good evening. Hope you're well over there in Saudi. Nigel says there's no need for player ratings. Everyone gets a 10. Superb performance. Before we come on to Alex, because I'm sure he's waiting for this moment to talk about Maxi. Jack, what did you think of his performance yesterday?
Sublime. I thought he was absolutely played out his skin yesterday. He actually headed the ball across the net and got an assist. And that is the Maxi we want to see every single week. Because that's the Maxi everyone's afraid of.
Yeah.
When Maxi's like that, no fullback, no matter who you are, if you're Hakimi, no matter what fullback you are, you do not want to go against that sort of Maximin. And yesterday he showed the quality of him, and the quality he hasn't been showing in the past few weeks. But that is the Maxi I want to see on Wednesday, on Saturday, until the end of the season. He was unreal. The pace he showed, the creativity he showed, he was unreal. And contenders for man of the match for me, but he's not my man of the match. Spoiler alert. But he was honestly sublime, and I couldn't rate him high enough. But that is, yes, he was brilliant yesterday. But Maxi has a bit of a. I don't want to be a bit of an idiot here, but he does have a problem with consistency. But I said today in my video, you got to see on Wednesday. If you don't perform on Wednesday, then we can start saying things. But as of now, you got to praise what you got to praise. And for me, he did brilliant yesterday, so you got to praise him.
And that's all we want to see from Maxi is that Maxi when he gets the ball and he just runs at defenders. Look, there is going to be times where defenders win the ball off him. There's no doubt about that. But what there is the excitement. You know, every time he got the ball yesterday, there was excitement because he just drove at them. And it was just brilliant to watch. Murphy did the same on the other side. There was some lovely football played, from the word go. Toon Gamer says, it makes me laugh, the scum United fans and pundits saying we over-celebrated at the end. They don't realise that's what we do every home game as a proper fan base. Look, it's just salt. That's all it is. It's salt. And, we've been, some of the tweets from Man United fans today have been absolutely ridiculous, saying that Eddie's chat in the dressing room after the game was embarrassing. I'm sorry, but that's what every manager should be doing, is it not? That's what they do. They sit with the lads and they go through the game. Eddie didn't have to say anything much yesterday, apart from what he did say, because there wasn't anything that Eddie could have said that wasn't positive, because everything was positive. The way Dan Burn, for instance, just had Anthony in his pocket most of the game. I think he got one cross in the first half, but most of the time he had no luck. They swapped sides as well. They put Rashford against Dan Burn, and Rashford may as well not played yesterday. He was awful. And that culminated in the back pass that he gave to Nick Pope in this towards the end of the game. I don't know what he was trying there, but it was hilarious. Danielle, good evening. Hope you're well. Evening, lads. What a performance. What a team. I simply cannot hide my delight at stuffing those rotten red monks. Get in there. Love to you all. Danielle would have been absolutely buzzing yesterday. Right, come on, Alex. You've waited for this moment.
Well, is this specifically a Maxi chat, is it?
Well, no, it's not. I'm asking you what you thought of him yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is what he delivers. I think he could do a lot more than that, personally. I thought it was a great performance, and I think he's been delivering much better performances recently. His energy's better, his defensive positioning's been better, his pressing, he's changed his game a lot. All of this old selfish nonsense. I think one of the major problems is he doesn't do enough on his own anymore. He's not willing to take that shot, or because it's too much of the other way. But this is why I just don't see the point in giving up on him. I don't want to sell him for 25-30 million to another team while they get 3 years of his best, because he's peak age right now. Just hold on to him and just use him as a squad player. If fine, I just don't see the point, because when he can produce things like that, he produced 6 key passes yesterday. That is phenomenal. 2 big chances created. He got the assist. He should have had more. He put Willick on a plate. When Willick skied it over, I don't know if any of you have seen the highlights of Isak and Maxi just collapsing to the ground.
Isak actually looked like he'd been shot. He just bent over backwards.
In Maxi's defense, how many of them has he put on a plate this season for people that they've not finished? So for the people saying Maxi's got no end product, he's provided that 5, 6, 7, 8 times so far this season, and people haven't finished it off. It's not always down to him.
He could have had 3 or 4 assists yesterday. He really could.
How many games have we said that this year, though? We could have had 1 or 2 or 3 assists, and it's not happened. It's not. You've got to take everything into context. And I just don't like the stick with which we measure him. When we look at Murphy statistically, Maxi is way out in front. Yeah. The only winger that's outperformed in this season is Miggy, with his outstanding goal scoring run of form, which is fair enough. But yeah, Matt, that's why we should keep Maxi. Yeah. We are going to be in a European competition next season. So, okay, fine. Let's say we buy DRB. Great. Let's say we've got a Miggy and a DRB and an Isak in a starting lineup. Brilliant. Okay, that's great. And an Anthony Gordon maybe develops. great, okay, but wouldn't it be funny to watch Maxi away to some Russian second team or some nonsense? And he just absolutely tears them a new one.
Yeah.
Having somebody of that quality as a squad player going forward, we need that depth.
Absolutely.
That's what he can do. So,
yeah. Sammy Fies, thank you very much for your 39.99 Saudi Arabian Real, mate. That's very kind, Sammy. He says, congratulations, guys. Big win. I think we're going to add 3 more wins and hopefully secure a Champions League spot. It's the Ramadan blessing. Thank you very much, Sammy, and hope you're well over there in Saudi. Few from Saudi on tonight. Speaking of Miggy, actually, did you see him in the dressing room when Eddie Howe was talking to them at the end? He was sitting like a little schoolboy.
Well, you were in the ground. The camera panned to him when we scored a couple of times. Actually, in the ground, it was quite nice. He was very happy.
Yeah. Billy Alexander Isak again. Obviously didn't get a goal yesterday, but outstanding again. And his link-up play was brilliant. He did give Martinez and Varane a real run for the money. And I was sitting at when he came off, and I'm sitting there thinking, God, if only he'd started the cup final. I know it's, hypothetical and all of that, but you just look back and think, if he'd been on for the full game, would it have been a little bit different? But hey, that's gone now. We've turned it around and beaten them yesterday. That 3 points yesterday may well get us Champions League football. And if it does, then they can stick the Carabao Cup up their arse, as far as I'm concerned. For us to be in the Champions League will be absolutely monumental. It really will. But he led the line so well, Billy.
Oh, it was an unbelievable performance from someone that a few weeks ago I was questioning whether he was going to be a quality centre forward or not with his physicality. He out-physicality. He out-physicaled the so-called Butch yesterday. He out-physicaled a World Cup winning centre-half yesterday. His touches when he gets his control of the ball and his first touch is always exemplary. Sometimes you don't even give him a chance. He gets to it. You think he's got no chance. He gets to it. He goes past plays with ease. He finds passes. He's always available in the box. The lad's 22 years of age. He's going to be a special centre forward for us. Really is.
He is. Now, obviously, this man, the passion that he shows for this football club is simply incredible. But that little nutmeg on Weghorst, Jack, it was just outstanding because he just got on with the game. He didn't try to sort of, oh, look at me, I've nutmegged him. He just did it with pure skill.
Brazilian, that's their game.
Yeah.
That's just what they do. But yeah, it's just class, isn't it? It's just that another level. And hence why we're building a team around Bruno. But he's not one of them players like an Anthony on their side who nutmegs a player. He could have a chance to run forward. He doesn't. He tries to do it again. Bruno's that sort. He's a squad player. He'll do a little trick because that's just his game, and then he'll keep going. And that's why he's such a good squad player. Yeah. But yeah, Bruno's phenomenal, and honestly, he really, really shows us what a Champions League level player is.
Look, the more I see Bruno, the more I think £40 million is an absolute snip. For a player of his absolute quality. Now, this is what Sven Botman had to say. He said, our goal is to be in the top 4, so this was a massive win for us. If you want to be the top team, then you also have to be at your best and to be brave under pressure and on the ball. And I think we put in a good performance. Well, I think good performance is sort of taking it away a little bit. It was magnificent. But Fabian Schär again, Alex, Botman was brilliant. But Fabian Schär took 2 massive bangs to the head again. But this time, he wasn't concussed, luckily. But, I've seen lots of people making sort of links to Albert with the way he played yesterday, bringing the ball forward, having a few shots. He wasn't far away with them either, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a shame he's as old as he is. Not that he's old, but he's in his 30s. Because I think if we could have a slightly... I've said this about Shelvey, and I'm going to say this about Schär. Yeah. If this was a 25, 26 version of Fabian Schär at this point, and we could get a bit more out of him, I think he could stay with us and go on to the next level and be... I think he could be world class, but he's not going to be, unfortunately. I don't think he's got enough time left or ability. But I do think it's such a shame that, he had 4 shots off target yesterday. Fair enough, they were off target, but he's got that little, we catch him sometimes on the wing, driving forward. He's got the long ball. He's got, the good touch. He's got that instinct. I feel like to be where he's not going to get to Botman's level. I think let's say Botman's going to get to 5th gear, and I think Fabian Schär is always going to get stuck at 4th gear maximum. But it's a shame because I think he's bloody close. He's really close to that next level.
Yeah.
This season could have been so different for him. If 3 or 4 of those shots had gone in, he could be on 5 goals. It's just. And I don't want to take anything away because it's been 9 out of 10 really season for him, but it could have been 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I'm just really sad that players like Shelvey and Schär were the wrong side of 30 because it could have been so good. It could have been so good.
Chippers, thank you very much for your £10 super chat, buddy. He said, see Man United fans blame the Glazers for losing yesterday. Just we beat them, Bellends. and Jose Enrique were in the top 6. I had to laugh at Goldbridge as well, making a little dig at us, saying, celebrating a win and celebrating being joint 4th. Well, we're not. We're 3rd. And we've got a much better goal difference than you, Goldbridge. So shut up, you prat. Anyway, Danielle says also... Sorry,
do you remember the year when Sergio Aguero scored in the last minute to win the title for Man City?
Yeah.
All along we thought it was Man City's title, but obviously they were joint champions that year because they had the same amount of points.
Well, that's
how silly it is.
Well, they must have had to saw the Premier League trophy in half, Billy. But I don't remember them doing that. I'm sure Man City won the champions. The champions that season. Absolute bell end. Danielle says also shout out to one boot Rashford, crying like a baby, throwing a tantrum. Oh bless! I must admit, I laughed my ass off at that. Throwing his boot to the floor, just hilarious. And then when Bruno Fernandes started chasing the referee all over the pitch. I mean, God almighty. Just hilarious. It really was. Sophia says, I loved Eddie giving it to Den Haag. Yep, brilliant. It was just all great yesterday. Jason says, we beat them all over the pitch. Wouldn't have swapped any of theirs for any of ours. No, there wasn't one Man United player I'd have put on our team yesterday. Not one.
I think De Gea put in an absolute world-class performance.
Well, yes.
I'm not saying I would take him over Nick Pope because they're very different players, but it was an incredible performance. I think he's the reason it wasn't 5-0.
Yeah, he made some great saves. Don't get me wrong. Vincent says that one weather training, as well as the not having Casemiro and Eriksen, really paid dividends. Listen, Casemiro is a massive miss to Manchester United. And I think I read somewhere today say that they haven't won a game in the league since they've won the cup. So they're on a real spiral at the minute.
I'm still not buying that. I'm not having this Casemiro narrative because we had Joe Linton suspended and then didn't start him. And we've been playing Murphy because Almiron's injured. So Almiron's our top scorer. So we played without our top scorer and without our central midfielder enforcer. So as far as I'm concerned, that's evens. Because they are as important to our team as Casemiro is to their team. We need players like Miggy and Joe Linton. Where would we be this season without them? So I'm not buying that. It's nonsense.
Yeah. Peter says, don't forget Isak, who knobbed Willick in the forehead straight after scoring.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was a very strange celebration for a goal, I have to say. Davey, thanks very much for the £2.50, mate. He says, Ten Hag got to be the biggest jockey in the league, surely. Well, you've said this all along about Ten Hag, Billy.
Yeah, he's got away with murder this season. And nothing about what happened yesterday surprised me at all because that's the archetypal Man United performance. Every time I've watched them, they've been outplayed and teams haven't finished what they've created. And for a long time yesterday, it seemed that was going to go the same way again. But justice was done in the end. But they're not a good side at all. And he's not a good manager. We saw that with his substitutions. Crazy substitutions.
Yeah. Palestri on, and then he took...
Why did he take his two centre-backs off?
Yeah, he took Marnes and Fran off.
I just don't understand that substitution. And we were all saying, around me, what the hell is he doing? He's changing his centre-backs. And he brings Lindelof on when he's chasing the game. I found it absolutely.
He didn't get a single thing wrong, right. Even if I could get a single thing right, that'd be nice. But the starting lineup, the tactics, in-game management, substitutions, he did not get a single thing right. None of it. Wingers swapping, the double pivot with Sabitzer and McTominay. He didn't get a single aspect of that game right. It was an atrocious managerial performance all around.
Yeah, it seems to me like he's blinded the British media and sports media and press with
somehow
fake science. I just don't get it, because it's obviously that his teams are shit. They don't even play in an entertaining manner. They're really negative to watch.
He's trying to be a wannabe Fergie at the minute, and he hasn't been in the league long enough. He doesn't even compare to Ferguson.
He's trying to be a Dutch Pep.
Well, he's just not. He's just not. He's embarrassed himself this week.
You watch the Ferguson team; they always entertained. You watch Pep's team; they always entertained. This side's more Harry Bassett than bloody Alex Ferguson. It's negative. It is. They came for a draw yesterday. 11 men behind the ball. It was awful to watch.
And the time wasting. I don't know whether that was a deliberate dig at Newcastle, but it backfired on them massively. It really did backfire. Davey says my man of the match actually was Sean Longstaff. Interesting. We have a new member to the channel, Detecting Guru. Welcome to the Toon Review family, mate. Thank you for your membership. And we do have some members draws coming up this week, and we are going to do some prizes for non-members as well. But you will have to obviously do something to earn that prize. So that's coming up. We've got there's no fan forum this week. There's obviously we've got the West Ham preview tomorrow. So we'll do something on there tomorrow night with some prizes, and also we've got the watch along on Wednesday night as well. So really looking forward to that one. Straight back into action. Angelica says I was listening to Billy yesterday and fell asleep after my pain meds. I woke up to him shouting for the second goal. Never been so chuffed to be woken up from a nap. Definitely the best way to be woken up to celebrate a Newcastle goal. Right, Anthony Gordon, guys. He came on in the second half, and that was his best performance since he signed. There's no doubt about it, Jack. He was brilliant.
I think he did everything he was asked to do. I think he was very. He loves to go in for a tackle. I know that. And yeah, he's just a brilliant all-round player. He's not a goal-scoring player. He's not an out-and-out a goal scorer. He's been asked to do a job, and he's done it. He was running all around the pitch, flying into tackles, driving up the pitch, getting crosses into the box, and he hasn't had that many games for us so far. But 100% out of the games he's played for Newcastle, 100% the best performance for us. But that's just an exciting thing to go forward, and a new and a positive to go forward with Anthony Gordon. And to all them Everton fans saying 40 million is crap, I'd keep it quiet, because he's not. He's got some talent, and I can't wait to see more of it next season and from the next games onwards.
Some people are asking to see the thumbnail for tonight's show. There it is. I just think that's absolutely fantastic. That is. I mean, it really is. And it just says all you want about Bruno Fernandes. It really does. We have another member, Toony Paul. Now, I'm not sure whether that's new membership or renewed. Thank you very much anyway. And welcome to Members Club. Really do appreciate that. Devon says, hello, TTR family. Good evening to you all. That performance yesterday was, in my opinion, the best we've played all season, especially against those skip rats. Arani Granny says, Bruno wasn't the only one who wanted a penalty. John Sinclair on his stream wanted it too. He caused a stir yesterday. But listen, he was overjoyed that we won. It was all tongue-in-cheek yesterday, but dear God, it was funny. Billy must have the same dentist as me, says Geordie Boy. Well, in fact, it wasn't Billy, it was Bruno Fernandes.
Yes, it was,
Nick wants to know how long Bruno Fernandes has been Chinese.
Welsh, Geordie, Chinese.
He's a bit of everything. He's a bit of Heinz, isn't he? Vincent says, guys, do you think the result would have been the same had they had Casemiro and Eriksen available? Well, it's hypothetical. You can't really, maybe they would have played differently. But look, we would have maybe had a different game plan had Casemiro played. But it doesn't matter. They were awful.
All right, well, we have a fully fit Miggy and a Joe Linton that's not been suspended for 2 games, and there you go. I'm not buying that. That's not a narrative that can be pushed.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, I did, mate. Don't worry about that. They're all packed up. Dave says the Dubai warm-up camps seem to have really helped the team. We are hitting form again at the right time of the season. Sick of some pundits making out how bad Man United were and not how good we were. Yeah, Shea Given put them right on Sky. I seen that later on when I got home. Saying, he said something along the lines of, "Oh, sorry, I thought it was Man United TV for a minute there." Brilliant. Another new member, Chris Irvin. Welcome to Members Club. Thank you for signing up. If that's a renewal or brand new membership, thank you, Chris, for your support. Alex says, did I miss something with Goldbridge? He seemed to give us the congrats we deserved as well as talking about how bad Man United were. Was there some tweets or something?
Only on video. I watched his video. His video was very politically correct and complimentary. His tweets, however, were childish and ridiculous. So, yeah, he did two different things with his own. I don't know why. Yeah, he was very inflammatory with his tweets, but then he was neutral with his video. Strange.
During his live stream, you can hear the keyboard going on Twitter. You just hear it all
he always does.
No, we don't want to give a Man United streamer any viewers. Don't do that.
No.
They wouldn't watch him anyway for the Newcastle fans. Sophia wouldn't mind a week in Dubai. Wouldn't we all, Sophia? Wouldn't we all? You never know. As the channel gets massive, we might give that away as a prize one day. And if we do have, if we ever do have the opportunity to do that on this channel, we will all be driving Ferraris. So that day, Mike. And instead of putting the prancing horse on the front of my Ferrari, I will have a golden camel. Just to mix
a Rolls Royce with a camel on the front.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, why not? Geordie, how are you, man? Fabulous weekend. Big up to Gateshead as well. Absolutely, massively well done to Gateshead, going through to the FA Trophy final, beating Barnet on penalties. I mean, who would have thought at the start of the season, guys, Newcastle United and Gateshead both getting to Wembley is a phenomenal achievement. It really, really is. Right, we've got over 1,000 watching tonight, guys. Thank you so much for your support. Please do hit that like button. Just take a second to do it now. Just hit it now, and then that's it. It's done. And also, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. We are less than 90 away now from 18,000. It has gone up brilliantly today. So please, 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 guys, if you're not subscribed, hit that button now. It is free to do so. Come and be part of this wonderful community that we have here. Spike Milligan, thank you for your £20 super chat. He says, my wife died 4 years ago to the day yesterday. I like to think she helped the team. Oh, yeah, now you've seen United. Now Foxtrot Oscar home. Brilliant, Spike. Yeah, I'm sure your wife had something to do with it. Everybody up there. Sir Bobby, Dave Harrison, the legends that are up there. It all came together yesterday. Eddie from Tyneside Life got some abuse from the bell ends yesterday. Yes, he did. But I don't think Eddie took it to heart, to be honest. I mean, listen, he puts himself in that situation. He goes to the away fans pub all the time to try and get the thoughts of the away fans and have sensible conversations with them. But to have a sensible conversation with a Man United fan is like trying to get blood out of a stone. These guys aren't human. So, it's very difficult to have a proper conversation with them. Another new member, James Welsh. Thank you very much, James, and welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for signing up. Really appreciate that. Did you see the Chesley Street Man United flag? Yes, I did. And I also know that they took a lot of abuse. Absolute shitloads of it yesterday. But why would you do that? It's just crazy. Ian says the teamwork was amazing. I mean, that's what stood out, Billy, wasn't it? The teamwork, the camaraderie on the pitch again. It was there for all to see.
And that's why they did these photos at the end of the game and go around clapping the fans. It's something that's not just naturally there. You have to kind of grow it organically. And that's what Eddie Howe's done to this team. And all these teams that say, oh, they're so small, Tom, doing these photos. That's what creating teamwork means. They'll all fight and die for each other against a team of individuals. The team that fights and dies for each other wins every time.
Yeah. Tom makes a good point. The lad who plays local hero and the young kid, just outside the ground every home game now. He got dogs abuse as well. But these are what they're like. They're just scum. Roadblock, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. He says, Dan Botman, brill. The rest of the back line solid again. Midfielders bossed the park. Forwards getting there. Let the good times roll. Bring on West Ham. Alex, do you have any graphical stuff for us tonight?
Not necessarily. I can show some FOTMOB stuff.
If you feel you need to show it, Alex, then just
let's do it in 5 minutes then.
Okay,
so I can
you
move it over to a different window. Sorry, I've just had Oliver Holt retweeting me, so I'm just because he's a little rat.
We already knew that. We already knew that. Quite
well, he's written an article about the Masters, about the golf, but he's also written within the article, it would be like Newcastle winning the Premier League, and he's got a title. Golf needs Rory to win the Masters and lead the slaying of the Saudi stooges. Disgraceful article from a horrible, horrible little man. And
do you know what it is? Right, if he ever sets foot in Saudi again, he should be arrested. Right, just arrest him and put him away, and just get rid of him. He's so anti-Saudi, it is unbelievable.
Well, I've put he's the most unprofessional, biased journalist I've ever encountered, and then he's had a pop up my username on Twitter. So my response is childish, nothing more than I expected, because he's a small human being and a tiny man.
Well,
he knows he is.
Yeah, he doesn't like the Toon review at all. So the fact that you are Toon review stato, he'll have seen that and immediately saw red. Because he's took some hammers by me before, which is why he's blocked me. But I blocked him first. So, right. Ashley 8, he says, Billy also confused Dan Burn with Longstaff. At one point, I was confused as Burn's a giant. I had a few tinnies yesterday celebrating Billy, during the match.
I don't know. I think Burn's pretty tall too. So it's easy enough to confuse him, I guess. Well, it is for me. I'm confused.
Billy. Look, what these people need to know is when we're commentating on a game, it is difficult, right?
It is,
because we don't have massive big TV screens and we don't get the same things as the commentators do on TV. So it is very difficult, to be honest, and that's why we sometimes get the names wrong. But hey, it is what it is, and that I know Abs is just messing about there, but it is difficult.
Abs, I don't think
it was
Ashley, wasn't it?
Oh, Ashley 80s. Well, they're both piss takers. Detecting Guru says, evening TDR. Absolutely made up. We beat them bastards yesterday. Monumental bellends, a lot of them. Nick says, I don't often agree with Redknapp, but he was 100% right with his comments on Willick and England. Jack, is that something that should be happening? Has Joe Willick played himself into contention now?
No one's. Yeah, I mean, he has to. Joe Willock's been performing incredibly. He's really stepped up a gear in recent weeks since coming back from that Bournemouth injury. But yeah, he's just really, really gonna make a good future for himself. That lad, he really, really is. He makes late drive runs into the box. He spreads it around the pitch. He's a brilliant, brilliant midfielder. He's got a good engine on him, and I think he's a top player. And he has to be in contention now, surely. But we don't know. He needs to just keep, as he said in the interview, he just needs to keep playing his football. He needs to keep performing the way he is, and it should fall for him. But yeah, top player needs to keep performing at that level, I think.
Billy, it was great to see his little videos back, wasn't it? With "Come on the Maggies."
Oh, brilliant! To stand holding the corner flag with his hand on his heart with the badge. Yeah, it's great to see. He's 100% back to where he was before he signed for us, actually. And I'm not I don't think just Willock deserves a call up to the England squad, because he definitely does when there's the likes of Conor Gallagher in there. I think Sean Longstaff can't be far away either, because if he's certainly playing better than Calvin Phillips this season. Well, he's played for starters.
Exactly. Do you know what? That's not a bad shout, Billy. I mean, Sean goes under the radar a lot, and there's still a lot of Sean Longstaff haters out there. Look, everybody knows that I gave him pelters, and a lot of people did. But what Sean's done is he's nurtured. Eddie Howe just nurtured him. He's seen the potential that Sean's got, and he's brought him back to the player that he was, or even better than he was under Rafa, and that's saying something. And I've got so much praise for Sean Longstaff for the way he's just buckled down and become the player he has again. So it's not a bad shout at all, Billy. Alex, were you going to say something there?
Yeah, well, it's just something I've been trying to beat the drum on for a few weeks now, that I think Sean Longstaff's technical ability is improving, and it's going under the radar massively. Since the Southampton, was it Southampton? No, who did he score the double against?
Southampton.
It was Southampton, yeah. Since the Southampton double, me and Paul were commenting on this in a few of the Carabao Cup games, where we were noticing off the ball runs, little flicks, and he was just trying a lot more. It wasn't always working. And then it's just clicked really in the last 4 to 6 weeks. More forward passing, more scanning, more tricks and flicks and runs. His technical ability is going up. I was a little bit shocked by that, because obviously we all kind of came to the conclusion that Longstaff was, a grafter for the team. He'd learned how to play in the 8 and the 6 to be a useful contributor, and I think we were all under the general consensus that he'd maybe reached his technical ceiling. I feel like he's found another level for that, and he seems to be getting better. The shots are looking tidy, the through balls, the dinks, the link-up play. There might be more to come from Sean Longstaff. I wouldn't write him off as being a really important midfielder.
Absolutely.
Because he keeps finding another level. So
he does. Jack will be back in a minute. Michael Ryan, welcome to Members Club. Thank you very much for your new membership, and welcome to the family. The Devious Orange, thank you for your membership as well. Really getting some members in tonight, which is fantastic. I think Alex has got to go and sort the dog out as well. And Zishan, another $9.99. Thank you very much, Zishan. Mark Goldbridge was truly humbled. Love it. And Paul Scholes seeing us doing a victory lap shows how big Man United are. What a lemon. On the show, Danielle's reaction would have been epic. It would have. But yeah, I mean, Billy, so many people have said about Newcastle doing a lap of honour, but they fail to realise that this is the new Newcastle. This is the new Newcastle United that have connected with the fans again. And we do it every game. They do even if we lose, they do a little one. They still appreciate the fans. And that's what's been so good, because it's brought the club back to the fans, hasn't it?
But when a club comes to play at St James's Park, they're not just playing 11 men on the pitch; they're playing the whole ground, and it's an important thing for the club, the players, to kind of establish themselves. They did it originally when Eddie Howe first came after wins. There was one in the stadium now. The fans, the players, the officials, the backroom staff, everyone, and it's hard for teams to come here and actually take that kind of crowd participation out of the game. It's what they should be doing. If they should be trying to quieten us down early on, and instead teams are coming to sit behind the ball. It's the only team that's done it is Liverpool, and that was more by luck than judgment, just with long hooves. But yeah, it's a massive thing.
Right, we got a little bit of graphics from Alex. Talk us through this, Alex, because momentum. I mean, look at that.
Am I muted? Am I good? I'm good. No, I'm good.
You're good.
Yeah. So, just the FOTMob momentum bar. I thought I'd just have a little, just put it in here, because it's a really good reflection of how the game went. You can see, how strong our momentum was tapering off towards the end of the first half, as the energy sort of dropped off a little bit, and then we made sure we came into the second half nice and carefully. And then we really did grow. You can see there on sort of 60, 62, 63 minutes, when that goal came, we shunted up the aggression. The goal came, we carried on. We tried to go for the throat. We rode some late waves of, any sort of Man United attempts. And it's just a really good way of showing the momentum of the game. Momentum bars are vastly underrated, and you can see the superiority in this as well. So more graphics, and it's definitely can't be understated how important these subs were. Double sub at 68 minutes, energy and physicality from Joe Linton and Gordon coming on. So let's scroll past our amazing team. Hello.
By the way, Alex, just there's a few people been putting you right in the chat after you made the comment about watching Maxi against some Russian teams.
Yeah, I know we're at war with Russia.
It's not going to happen.
It's because in my memory, I remember 2012. I remember I think we played Anzi, Makashal, whatever their name is. We played against them, so that was in my head.
Who?
The one that Eto played for a while.
Anzi. Just call him Anzi.
So it's because that was in my head. I'm aware we're not playing against Russian teams anymore because of the war. But Still very morally correct chat. Well done, guys. I guess.
Indeed.
XG. So I bang on about XG a lot. We absolutely deserve this game on merit, whether it was statistically or on the eye. It's worth pointing out that I think Joe Willock accumulated over 1.7 XG on his own. Should have had more than one, really. You can see the superiority here with 3.68, which is enormous. I think I saw a stat on Twitter today that we've accumulated over 8 XG in the last 3 games, which is monstrous. It's very, very good. Over 2 goals a game is sublime. They barely even put up enough for half a goal. Let's be honest. I mean, I think that's even generous, to be fair. And if we go down and have a look, we can see, I don't think I can actually click on the other goal. I can. There you go. So Wilson's was a 0.5 XG header. When you get your head on that, from that position, you're scoring half of them, and rightly so. Very clever from Wilson, shoving, I say shoving, it wasn't fouling. Little gentle push on Rashford just to give him a bit of space. Obviously, terrible substitutions. They had got no idea what they were doing in a defensive corner. And then if we scroll across to the Willock one, it is a 0.77 chance. So you've got to be scoring them. You're scoring 3/4 of them from that position. But we've known Willock to miss anything. He can miss from a yard out. So absolutely incredible from them. And if we go on to our sofa score, we can see the general stats that have been given across the board. I would like to point to one man here. It's got to be this guy in the middle, pulling the strings with the 7.3. I think this does not do it justice to just how good he was, because we definitely won the midfield battle. That heat map is
is that their match ratings, Alex?
This is the sofa score match ratings. Yeah.
Oh, what?
I can't scroll back across now. It's broken.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, come on.
What, you think they're a bit low? Well, these are just statistical ratings.
Oh, God almighty, my voice. Jesus Christ. What the hell was that just came out of my throat?
Jacob Murphy, 6.9. Oh, my God.
I mean, when you compare it to their ratings.
Oh, but Anthony gets more than Jacob Murphy.
Right, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
Anthony gets the same as Joe Willock. I mean, I'm not having it. Not having it.
Yeah, I mean, I think they've maybe dropped the ball a little bit on that statistically, which is why you're supposed to use statistics with a pinch of salt and use the eye test as well. So heat map, ridiculous. He covered every blade of grass and more. He grew into the game. You can tell when when Bruno's in the mood, because he gets a couple of nutmegs. He's just in that mindset where if a couple of things come off, he tries more and more and more, and he just snowballs his performance, and it's absolutely incredible. So more stats, incredible stats, a 90% pass accuracy from our number 6. Well, our number 39, number 6. It's just outrageous against what is supposed to be one of the best teams in the land, still in the Europa League, won the Carabao Cup final. For him to sit in that midfield, nutmeg the striker, nutmeg their fullback, just take the mick out of them entirely. 90% pass accuracy. 3 key passes again is integral from our defensive midfielder. A couple of good long balls, completed all of his dribbles, 9 ground duels, just an absolute monster. 4 tackles as well. It cannot be it cannot be overstated how good Bruno is in that midfield. It's absolutely integral.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying in the chat that they thought the referee had a good game yesterday. I did. I just didn't like the way he went to speak to Nick Pope rather than. I thought, he didn't dish out any cards. To be honest, I don't think there was any tackles worthy of yellow cards yesterday. There was a couple of late ones, but nothing nasty. I thought he let the game flow very well, and that's how it should be refereed. It's good that we're not actually sitting here saying, "Oh, the referee this, the referee that," because I think
there should have been 2 or 3, really.
Well, possibly, but at the same time, it's nice to see a referee not be card happy and let the game flow like he did. He played a couple of really good advantages as well, which I was impressed with. He did have a decent game, and we've always said if the referee isn't being talked about, then he's had a good game. And to be honest, we haven't.
I do think Anthony definitely should have been carded though, right. For the he touched the ball before the whistle went, and then he got up and pushed Dan Burn.
Yeah,
Got to be a
yeah.
yellow card for that.
And
For the-
Anthony,
for the
Anthony should
double.
be yellow card as soon as he comes on the pitch for looking like he does.
I think we should have had a penalty as well. I mean, I've looked back at it. You know, the kick in the head of Schär.
Well, how that isn't dangerous play, I'll never know in a month of Sundays, me.
To me,
Well,
to me it is.
Bruno Fernandes's studs up Isak's chest as well in the first half. I don't know how you're grazing somebody's like jugular when you're there 6'4", and that's somehow not a yellow card. So,
did you see the Photoshop that a Man United fan did earlier today on Twitter, saying that they should have had a penalty for a Sven Botman handball? He photoshopped the ball right next to Sven Botman's hand. It never happened, and everybody pulled him up on it, saying, "What are you talking about? It's clearly a Photoshop, and it never happened."
I was trying to re-jog my memory, thinking when that actually happened, and it didn't.
It really didn't, and it was. I mean, God, you talk about trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. It was just mental. Right. We are going to come on to 12th man Toon. Thank you very much for the 199. He thinks John Sinclair should be taken to court for yesterday. He made a comment on Twitter saying that may the best United win, and it caused an uproar. I wasn't actually too pleased with it either, but
It took some shouting off Tony, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I've spoken to John yesterday on the way back from the match, and I had a good laugh with him about it. So he just doesn't. He's the thing is with John, right? He's such a lovely, kind-hearted guy that he just doesn't realise sometimes that he's upsetting the fan base by putting what he did. He's just a nice all-round guy. So it was funny.
Can I just say thank you very quickly to everybody who's jumping in at Oliver Holt? It's funny.
Thanks, guys. Peter Merrifield, welcome to Members Club. That might be a renewal or it might be a new one again. I know you've been a member in the past, Peter, so welcome again. Thank you so much. I can't believe the amount of members joining up today. It's incredible. Roper Gaming, thank you very much for your £1 super chat. Really appreciate that. Up the A1 says, just got our 11 months membership. Best channel. Thank you very much. Well, I know Fez is in the process of doing some little logos for the members. So the longer you remember, you get like an upgraded badge. I know a lot of other channels do that. We don't. But I know it's been talked about in our WhatsApp chat. So hopefully Fez is coming up with some ideas. If he's not, he is now. But there you go. Right. Jack's first time on, of course, with the player ratings. We'll have to. But before we do the player ratings, somebody else wants to celebrate with us, guys. Born! Oh, I can't do that today. No.
We've got Nuno in the middle.
Moo!
Dear me. Right, let's do it. Right, Jack, we'll start with you since you're the newbie. We'll all go around. Nick Pope. Now, I feel a bit sorry for Nick Pope again because he didn't have a lot to do.
But it's a weird thing with goalkeepers because if they get a 10, that means they've had a lot of shots at our goal, which isn't a good thing. So he had nothing to do, so I've got to give him a 7.
Okay. Billy?
God, that one back pass that he miscontrolled it.
Oh, I crapped myself when he did that. I did.
It's going to give me a heart attack one of these days.
I think he did as well. I think, to be honest, he did. I think he shit himself as well. I think the 7's fair. He had nothing to do. One shot from Anthony, which kind of rolled to him about 0.3 miles an hour. And then that back pass from Rashford is about all he did. So, 7's fair.
George Ricard, thank you very much for your £5 super chat. That's really kind, buddy. Thank you very much. Big supporter of the channel is George. Thank you so much. Alex?
Yeah, it's all been said. 7, didn't have enough to do. A few pot shots. Wasn't a big fan of the miscontrol. He needs to cut that out now. It's one sort of moment every fortnight. Just Just needs to calm it down a little bit.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm giving him an 8, right? And I'm giving him an 8 because I'm sick of saying I'm giving him this because he had nothing to do. Thank you for all the cow emojis in the chat again, guys. Daisy will be very happy with that. I'm sick of saying, I'm giving him a 7 because he had nothing to do. I'm giving him an 8, damn it, because, I know he's obviously going to average a 7 given what yous have scored him, but I'm sick of doing that. He had nothing to do, but what he did do, he did all right, apart from give us a heart attack once. But look, his distribution was great. He got on with the game quickly. I didn't have a problem, so I'm giving him an 8. Right, we'll move to Kieran Trippier. Jack.
A great assist for the Wilson goal, and I feel like his overall game was good. So it would be an 8, but seeing though for the assist, I give him an 8.5.
You can't. We don't deal in 0.5s. It's either an 8 or a 9, Jack.
Oh, I'll give him an 8 then.
All right, we don't do 0.5s.
Oh, I do.
You should know that watching the channel. You should already know that. I'll let you off. Billy?
10 for me. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. Marcus Rashford still in his pocket now. Assist for the goal. Passing was superb. Led the team absolutely fantastically. 10 out of 10 for me all day long.
Yeah. I think we've got a new Simon Cowell on the channel, judging by Jack's mark there. Alex?
I mean, I'll give him a 9. I think he was close to a 10, though. Deliveries were far improved.
Yeah, they were.
Much, much better. I mean, he was hitting crosses, 6 accurate crosses yesterday. He's been having a lot of games where it's been like 1 or 2. So 6 accurate crosses is so much better. Good defensively, got the assist. Really solid. Yeah, a 9. Great performance.
Yeah. I Like Coffee says PD Proudlock was on TV in the match highlights. Yes, he was. I don't know whether you've seen my interview with him after the match. I was. Let's just say the adrenaline was still flowing through me quite quickly when I did that interview. There was a lot of, shall we say, expletives in that, calling Ten Hag and everybody else rather spicy names. But I was on a high. Jabba Dabba Doo, thank you for your £2 super chat. He says, "Hello lads, can we get second?" No. Let's just hope for Champions League, and then we'll
Man City get a points deduction.
14 points behind City, aren't we?
It's not going to happen.
If they get a points deduction.
Billy, I know you're a positive man, but yeah, let's just aim for the Champions League first, eh? See where we finish.
I've not ruled out the actual title yet. Bollocks it all. We still win it. We're waiting out of it numerically. We don't need snookers yet.
I mean, Arsenal are still on track to be Centurions.
They are actually, yeah.
So,
by the way, where's that gone? Andy Davies says Jack's the new Craig Revel Horwood. Oh dear. Sophia says I didn't realise we were on Sky again on Wednesday. Yes, we are. But as usual, knock off the commentary, watch the game, listen to the Toon review. People love doing that now. It's brilliant. Right, I'll give Kieran Trippier a 9 as well. I'll go with Alex. Very close to a 10, I have to say. But Jack, you've had a Castoria with that one, matey.
Right, well, change to a 9
no,
now.
you can't change. No, that's the rules. There's no changing. You're done. Right, we'll move across to Dan Byrne, and Alex, we'll start with you.
I think he can have an 8.
Okay.
6 tackles, monumental. Imposed himself physically. Wasn't deterred by the challenge of Anthony and Rashford. We expected them to try and exploit that, and he did really well. Still not an attacking threat, so I'm not going any higher than an 8. Got on to the end of a couple of offensive headers, but they were poor. I think there was one moment where Elliot Anderson came on. I've said this about anybody who plays left wing. They look. They get to the edge of the box and they go, right, it's overlap time. And you saw Elliot Anderson go, where is he? You literally watched him turn around for about half an hour and go, where's my overlap? Poor kid, honestly. Poor kid.
I think you've been harsh there. I think you've been harsh, but I'll explain why.
I thought defensively.
No. I thought 8, but what you're saying anyway.
But again, we are lacking that. Imagine if we could give that performance and had an offensive left back. It'd be a cricket score.
Billy?
I want to give him an extra point just for saying what we all think about Manchester United in his after-match interview. So I'm
Yeah,
going to give him a 9.
did. Yeah, that was brilliant. Yeah,
I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. And the G'd up of the crowd, it obviously, it was getting him there.
They were all doing that. They were all doing that with big
fantastic.
tackles. It was
He's
brilliant.
the leader. He's one of the leaders in the team. I think 9's a fair score for him. I really did think he had a really good game.
Yeah.
Against their most dangerous player, by the way. I mean,
exactly.
But he was their most dangerous player yesterday.
He was. Absolutely. Right, we'll move to Simon Cowell.
I'm not going to listen to someone saying to give him a 4. I'm not. I wish I gave Trippier a 9, but I'm gonna give Dan Burn an 8. I feel like he's not going to be overlapping all game because I don't think that's just Dan Burn. But what he did do in terms of tackling, passing, and I think he did really well. So I'm going to have to give him an 8. For what he did do well, he did well.
Fair enough. Ian says Alex was watching a different game. He's got burnitis. I'm going to give Dan Burn a 9. And the reason, Alex, I disagree with you because I thought he did a lot of he did more going forward yesterday than I've seen in a long time. And I thought he did it really well. Yes, he didn't. He didn't put any crosses in.
That's the thing. You're saying he's done more overlapping than he's done before. Yeah, that's good. That's an improvement.
But I've got to rate him on this game, not what's gone on in the past.
But I'm rating him as a left back. I'm not rating him against previous performances.
You've got to rate him on the match. You've got to rate him on the match.
I'm rating him as a left back. I'm not rating him based on was he better than he was last match. My rating is what did he do well as a left back? And that was 6 tackles. He kept Rashford and Antony quiet, but his attacking was non-existent. I don't think that's unfair to say. Like, I'm rating him as a left back. I love
as I say, it's everybody's opinion. That's why we do these. It always creates a bit of debate, but hey, everyone's got their opinions. Sophia says, I'm just going to do a Danielle and give everyone a 10. Yeah, she would actually. Yeah, she would. Right, we'll move on to the centre-backs. We'll start off with Sven Botman, Jack.
I give him a 9. I think he was outstanding yesterday. He did really well in terms of passing wise. I loved it when he got the ball and drove out the back line onto the halfway line and spread it across the wing. I think he did phenomenal, like he always did. And yet again, he never seems to look out of class. That defender, Sven Botman. He just never looks out of piece. He's phenomenal every game, and we're so glad he's the age he is because he can really grow with this club. And I feel like he's just the next level like Bruno. He really, really is. And 9 for me.
Yeah. Billy?
No, I'm going to give him a 10. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I think I haven't seen the stats, but I don't remember him losing the ball in the air to Cartles, for instance. His passing was absolutely phenomenal again. Just an absolute mega Rolls-Royce performance from Sven Botman yesterday. So 10.
Please, everyone, don't give him a 10.
Alex?
I mean, I've got to now, haven't I? I'll give him a 10. I'll give him a 10. Why not? Why not? So just as a left-sided centre-back's performance, I mean, fine. Your centre-backs aren't going to score every game. They're not expected to. But in terms of what is expected of that kid, he did everything you could possibly want from that game. So as Billy's questioned, he won every single duel. He completed every single long pass. He did not miss a beat, not a single one. 88% pass accuracy. Flawless performances. He made the mistake a few weeks ago. Fine. If he puts in 24 world-class performances and then has one error every 25th game, I'm cool with that. That's fine. Not a problem.
Yeah, I'm going with a 10 as well. I just think he was outstanding. Listen, Jack, to be fair, there is a lot of 9s in the chat as well. So, you're not the only one. Don't worry. Listen, it's your opinion. Don't worry what we say. I thought he was excellent again. And, we've already spoken about how well he did yesterday. It was just some of his passing, the way he stays calm. He doesn't panic at all. And like Alex says, one mistake every 25 games, I'd cope with that, no problem at all. So he gets a 10 from me. I'll start with Fabian Schär. He gets a 10 as well. I thought he was just brilliant yesterday. And listen, if you can be compared to one of Philip Albert's better games, then, just outstanding. Is driving. He saw gaps yesterday and thought, sod it, there's no pass on, I'm going to go. And there was one shot he hit in the second half, which just went wide. De Gea wouldn't have got there. He didn't even move because of the swerve on the ball. He didn't move. And he was so relieved that ball went wide of the post. So a 10 from me. As Jack's being attacked by what I can only describe as a Black Panther. Alex, Fabian Schär.
I'm going to give him an 8.
Oh, piss off. Alex, nah. I'm not having it. I almost flapped me green screen there. That's a disgrace. That is an absolute disgrace. You need to absolutely have a word with yourself. Take your face for a massive shite. That is ridiculous.
You're calling me Simon Cowell.
I mean, I can explain it.
I don't think you need. I don't want you to, actually, Alex. Fuck you. No.
I'm going to anyway. So
Oh.
he gets the 8 for those driving runs and the offensive. Trying 4 shots, and it was close. I love that about his game. It was great, but 74% passing accuracy. If there was anybody in the back line that lost a pass, it was him yesterday. If I'm going to be hypercritical across the whole back 4, 1 out of 5 long balls. It wasn't his usual. He wasn't quite on form with that.
No.
But this is what I said at the start. I feel like it was very close. If it was very close to clicking, and if it clicked, that would have been a 10 out of 10 best performance of the season from him. It nearly worked.
Click. Do you know how close I am to clicking you through this screen right now? Unbelievable.
He's got to get some of these on target.
Oh, well, of course. I mean, just driving through half the fucking pitch before you hit
That's
ball.
why he's got an 8. That's what's given him the 8, was the driving through midfield. It's brilliant from him. An 8 is an exceptional score.
So are you telling me that if he didn't make them runs, you would have given him a lower mark?
If he hadn't have made any of the driving runs, he would have gotten a 7 from me, yeah.
Oh, my God. Billy, rescue me here, please.
No, I'm going to give him a 10.
Thank
really
you.
am.
Billy, pray, ladies and gentlemen.
I thought he was fantastic. He defends differently to Botman. They just gel together so well. Shares the bravery of the two. He's so brave. He puts his head where people don't put boots. He gets so many last gasp blocks. He's very clever as well. He's never got his arms out. He made one yesterday. I think it was from the Martial shot that deflected wide. Dangerous going forward. Instead of the passing, he takes players on and beats players, and he pushes us forward that way in the way that I don't know, maybe someone like Franz Beckenbauer used to. Although Franz Beckenbauer used to pass as well. 10 out of 10 performance. Brilliant. Braves the line. Braves the line.
Roblox, thank you very much for another £10. He says, cartel press monkeys and the biased pundits don't realise yet they're on a hiding to knout with their bleating. This is not temporary. We are here to stay, so get used to it. How are the lads? Indeed. Chi, thank you very much for your $5 Singapore dollars. He says, Arsenal to play Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea before us. If they lose all 3 and we win ours before we meet, we could play them at St James's Park with just 7 points behind. Chi, I love your optimism, mate. Well, let's just take a step back. Let's just see the next few games out first, buddy. But thank you very much. Has Jack given his rating yet? No, he hasn't. Jack,
if I've given Botman a 9, I've got to give Schär a 9. But he puts his head where angels fear to tread. Honestly, he's a warrior. That's that centre back. He's honestly a warrior, and the amount knocks he takes to that head is quite. The fact that he hasn't got brain damage yet is beyond me. But he's a brilliant defender. And yeah, it's only fair if I give Botman a 9. I've got to give Fabian Schär a 9. But it could have been a 10.
Yeah, indeed. By the way, Alex, you're getting some interesting comments in the chat, but the one that Dan Kane has sent in, I think, is gonna really anger you, because he's called you Alex Holt. He says, Dan says, Alex Holt for a second there. Maybe he needs a Snickers. Oh, brilliant. Hey, we're all entitled to our opinions. It's all banter. It's brilliant. Right. we'll move on to the midfield now, and we'll start off with the anchor man, Mr. Bruno Garamanish. Or I'll give up with his surname. I don't know. Bruno, the only one Bruno. Thank you. Billy, we'll start with you with Bruno.
Well, no surprise here, but 10 out of 10. Absolutely ran the game from start to finish. Dominated their midfield. And they put a man on him as well to deal with him. McTominay was there to stop him from playing. Failed miserably. Absolutely superb performance. Just absolutely superb. You know, and I've said pretty early doors that he's the best all-round midfield player that I've seen play for Newcastle. Yeah. And that's definite now. And he's the best all-round midfielder.
I can't disagree with that. I cannot disagree with that.
The best all-round midfielder in the Premier League. Barring none.
Without a doubt. Jack?
Can we give an 11?
No.
I'm going to get out. Well, in that case, then 10. I feel like I'm my man of the match as well. He was honestly unreal. Like Billy said, the amount of Man United players that went into Gimrich to either injure him or just put him off his game, they failed miserably. You could see the amount of times they were targeting Bruno to try and put him off or just stop him playing as well as he did. You can't stop that man from being sublime. He was honestly, you can't speak enough of it. He was unreal, and man of the match performance, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 for me as well. Everything has just been said. I think it was brilliant. Absolutely superb. In fact, Billy,
Doucouré has just been sent off for chinning Harry Kane right in front of the referee. Right in front of him. Harry Kane's gone down like a sack of spuds to a little tap to the face.
Let's face it. Harry Kane's chin is not one you could miss, is it? Really? I mean,
kicking off big time.
Oh well. Omar says, Paul, the curry in Glasgow is still waiting for you. Well, Omar, I might be popping up to Glasgow with my little lad on the train during these next 2 weeks. I've promised him a railroad trip, and Glasgow is the next on our hit list. So we may well be popping up to Glasgow probably one day next week. So I may well give you a shout, Omar. Alex?
Yeah, 10. Can't give him anything else, can we?
Yeah.
Played as a defensive midfielder, as an offensive midfielder, got shots, won duels, pulled the strings, tempo. I think it's worth saying as well how we're on about these skills, and it's not like when you look at sort of Anthony, it's sort of dribbling, trying to take people on at speed, whereas Bruno has got that natural talent, just that reading of the game. If you look at the nutmegs that he got the 2 nutmegs on Weghorst and Luke Shaw.
He did, yeah.
It was people coming towards him. It was understanding movement, timing, where everything's going to be. It wasn't just, I'm going to run at pace and pick a direction and maybe it's going to work. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a 50-50. They were all, he knew he was going to get it. He doesn't do that unless he knows he's going to win it, unless it's going to be 100% nutmeg. It's just such a different way of playing. It's sort of old school. It reminded me of Ronaldinho when he did the Luke Shaw one, because it was almost that body shimmy of, I'm just going to wait until you all come to me, and I'm just going to walk through you all. It didn't have to run at people super fast. As Billy said, I think based on pure just ability of how many things he can do on the pitch, I think he is the best midfielder we've ever had. Because people like Gaza couldn't do things, he couldn't do defensive Pirlo tempo spreading passes and nutmegs and the goals and he couldn't do all of that. Bruno is literally doing all of it. It's a joke. I don't know how we got this kid. He's unreal.
Billy, it looks from the chat that Harry Kane has rather embarrassed himself, and it shouldn't actually be a red card.
He's gone to raise his fist and made contact with his face, so it is a red card.
Right.
But he's made a proper meal of it. Before that, though, Harry Kane's gone over the top
again.
Harry Kane's gone over the top on Demarai Gray, and then the referee's blown for a free kick, and then he's gone over the top on Doucouré and grabbed his shirt, and then Doucouré chinned him. Harry Kane should have been sent off as well, in my opinion.
Oh, well, they won't send Harry Kane off, will they?
No, got yellow card.
He's, Harry Kane is he gets away with that a lot, those tackles. Mm-hmm. We remember one on, he is, without a shadow of a doubt. Right, we'll move on to Sean Longstaff now, Billy.
Yeah, another great performance. Superb energy. Every week you get the same from him. Covers every blade of grass. Passing was really good yesterday as well. Dovetails really nicely with Bruno. So when Bruno goes forward, Sean slips into the place where in the 6th role. 9 out of 10 for me for Sean. Should have scored in the first half. He tried to control instead of swinging at it, but that shot was just an inch or two wide as well.
Yeah, it
so
wasn't far away.
9 out of 10.
Yeah. Alex?
I give him a 10, but it was outstanding.
Yeah.
You know, if people are giving Schär a 10, then Longstaff 100% deserves a 10.
A lot of his work goes off radar, doesn't it? Nobody sees the amount of work that he goes through.
But I feel like he's moved up a gear. Definitely, I've mentioned him twice. I won't rub it on again, but it's the work rate plus a bit more now. He's definitely gone up a gear. 7 out of 8 duels. The long shot, the funny left-footed volley that he tried. Not going to blame him for that. He had so little time to react to that, and he did his best with it and actually got it out of his feet somehow.
But then he tried a lovely back heel after that, which was very quick thinking.
Yeah, I mean, it was his athletic performance, physical, clever with his positioning, dropping in and out with Bruno, plus a lot more technical ability than we've been seeing. 100, it's got to be a 10. One of his best performances, in my opinion, apart from the Southampton game.
Jack?
9. I'm going to say with Billy. I think if he just got that goal in the first half, that would have pushed him to a 10. But for everything he did off the ball, everything he did on the ball, the passes, the amount of ground he covered, 9 for me. And sublime performance again from Longstaff, and keeps doing that. Could be in a really good shot for England.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm giving him a 9 as well, but I would have given him a 10 had that goal went in. I think a goal would have topped off his performance, to be honest. I can see why Alex is given a 10. I thought he was superb. The way he just... his engine now is just fantastic, and it's not just that, but it's the positions that he's getting into as well. He's not just defending; he's up there helping the attack. He's making some very, very good runs, and he's taking defenders with him, which frees up a bit of space in the penalty area. So, is definitely Eddie's working on a lot with Sean Longstaff, which is all coming to fruition now without a shadow of a doubt. So, a 9 for me. Right, we move on to Willick. And it's a 10 from me. I just thought he was outstanding yesterday. The one thing I'd like to see from Joe a little bit more, maybe, is to get stuck in the 50-50s. But I've said that for a while now. But, the way he played yesterday, I can't give him less than a 10. I just thought he was outstanding. Alex?
I think it was a 9 performance and a 10 with the goal. I think it was one of them. I think him and Longstaff had about as good a game as each other, but Willick got the goal. Willick should have had another one. But again, I agree with what you say. I think he's going to have... Everybody's going to be talking so positively about Willick. I think it's important to talk about the other parts of his game. He does need to go in harder with the 50-50s and try a little bit harder in the air. And those are the sorts of things that maybe would push him into Southgate's plans, although... I wouldn't hold too much high hope because Southgate's choices are ridiculous anyway. But beyond that, his dribbling, his athleticism, his willingness to always be in the box, always be in and around that 6-yard box, which is how he got the goal. 10, definitely 10.
Dan Ward, I think you're having a shocker there. You put Willick for a 6 twice. A 6, really?
This is giving him a 12.
You can't. He scored a goal as well, man. Jesus. Billy?
Yeah. The goal makes him a 10, but his all-round performance was phenomenal. But he should have had 3, let's be honest. He should have scored 3 yesterday. But the fact he did score, never give up, he's still got into positions, which is great to see. The lad's got so much ability on the ball as well as skill, and the pace he's got, it's pace that you can't really tell he's got, but when he moves away from players, the lad's got everything, and he can be a massive, massive player, not just for us, but for England as well. So 10 for me.
Yep. Jack?
10. Sublime as always, or incredible, as I keep using that word. Incredible. That goal, like all you said, topped it off for me. And he could have got a match ball. He could have got so many more goals. But listen, I do wish he went harder into 50-50s, but his overall game is brilliant. And I think he's turned up a gear, in my opinion. I think he's turned up a gear.
Oh, what a surprise. What a surprise.
It is one, I think.
That's fair enough, Jack. I think, what it is with Willick, I think he missed the opportunity, but he kept going yesterday. And look, if he's going to get into positions all the time and keep going like that, then he will miss opportunities, but he'll also score them. And let's face it, he scored some bloody good goals for us this season. Right, we'll move to the front three now.
Can I just put something? Can I just throw something out there before we move on from Willick? Just remember, he's 23. Imagine 3 seasons of progression. Imagine a 26-year-old Willick that's got a bit more meat on him, wins more physical duels and wins the aerial duels, and has a bit more finesse with his finishing. Imagine what Willick could be in 2 or 3 seasons. He could be banging him in the Champions League consistently. That ceiling is pretty high, let's be honest.
Well, exactly. Right, we'll move on to the front three. We'll start with Jacob Murphy. Alex?
That's a tricky one. I'm going to give him an 8. I think he produced as much for the team as sort of a Dan Burn did his job well, wasn't outstanding, but keeps everything very simple. Really, really important in the press, though. Super energetic, made sure, and him and Maxi on both sides made sure that what Isak was doing counted. I guess an 8. Really, really solid from Murphy. He's making it very difficult for him to be dropped because he's doing really solid.
I'm going with an 8 as well for all the points that Alex made. I think I was tempted to give him an extra point just for the way he was pointing at his watch when he came off the pitch yesterday. I thought that was shithousery again from Murphy, which you've got to love. I think an 8 was fair enough.
3 key passes as well, I've just seen.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's pretty good.
Nice. Kane scored. Twat.
Yeah.
Jack?
I totally agree. An 8, but I know 8 seems low due to in terms of what we've rated the other players, but it's an 8 in a good way. I feel like it wasn't a Bruno performance, but it was a good performance. Good crosses into the box, good running down the right, good overlap, good link up with Trippier, and I think 8's fair enough for me. Yeah,
Billy.
I think 8's a good score for him. Yeah, he did have a very good game, but I think what he has done in the past few weeks I hope he has. I hope he's put into Eddie Howe's mind that we don't need an inverted winger on the right hand side because he's come on. He's getting crosses with his right foot. When Anthony Gordon came on, he did very much the same, and I think we look more dangerous as a team with the right foot on that right wing.
Yeah. Right, nip across to Maxi. Jack. 10.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 10. I feel like he got an assist. He was the best I've seen him, apart from the Man City game this season. He was incredible yesterday. I don't see any need to give him a 9. I think, in my opinion, 10. I feel like he did everything right yesterday, apart from the goal. But he got an assist as well. So, plenty of good crosses into the box.
Yeah.
Ran out of plenty of defenders and got the important assist which got the goal. So Maxi 10 for me.
Billy?
Yeah, I think 10's fair for him. I mean, I can only count one mistake he made in the whole game. And he did cover back for Dan Burn. His energy was great yesterday. He's driving runs. He looked quicker than usual. I think as soon as he saw that Dalot was playing, Maxi licked his lips and went at him, and he took him to the cleaners, let's be fair. Should have had 3 assists yesterday. He ended up with 1. But had a fantastic game.
Alex?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was probably a 9 performance, but I think the fact that he created those chances that his teammates didn't bury, to get an assist, 6 key passes in a game, 2 big chances created, drew a couple of fouls, didn't lose the ball in silly areas, was a lot more vigilant with it, should have had more. I think he gets the 10 because he should have had more than 1 assist. He did enough. That's what we want from him. We want that performance from him. And I think it was the right time. I'm happy that he got taken off, actually. I'm happy that him and Murphy played 68 minutes because it meant they pressed aggressively for 68. Boom, freshen it up, carry on, keep turning the screw. It worked brilliantly. It was a great game plan, great substitutions. I'm
going to give Maxi a 10 as well. I just loved when he got the ball yesterday. He was just so determined. Dalot didn't know whether he's going outside, inside, And the good thing about Maxi yesterday is that he did go down the left a few times and cross with his left. There was one in the first half where he found Sean Longstaff. I think it was offside anyway, but it just went past the post. But he did cross a few times with his left, cut back on his right as well, which caused Dallo all sorts of problems. So that's what we need to see from Maxi. Continued matches like that, where he just gets the ball and he drives at the defender. And also the way he was passing it as well, he was laying the ball off brilliantly for Isak, for Bruno, for Sean. So those players coming late into the box, he's aware of them now and he's laying the ball back, whereas before he wasn't doing that. Now he is. He's aware of it.
Did he look a fraction quicker yesterday than he's done in previous weeks?
Definitely.
He looks a little bit sharper, didn't he?
Without a doubt. Sharper than he has done for a few weeks.
He looks a better player with a proper centre forward next to him that's got movement.
Absolutely. Yeah, he did.
Who's been saying that for about 18 months?
Let's move on. Right, for Isak, Jack.
I'm going to give him a 9. I feel like a goal would have given him a 10, but I feel like a 9. His touch was phenomenal. He got to the ball first on many occasions. He took Varane and Martinez to the shops. I feel like he did brilliant against two world-class defenders. So I feel like he just got that goal. I feel like I would have given him a 10. But for what he did without getting the goal in terms of touching, passing the ball around, going forward, creating opportunities for others, 9. I'm
giving him a 9 as well, exactly for that reason. I think a goal would have topped it off for him. But I just love the way he caused them all sorts of problems all game. His touch is sublime. The way he brings other people into the game is what we've been crying out for so long now. And it was just brilliant to watch. Alex?
10. It can't be a 9, 10. If I'm giving Longstaff a 10 for technical ability and work rate, Isak deserves the same from in my opinion. The reason we were so high energy, he won. I think he won the throw in that got us the free kick to the goal. Like everything he did was so important. The pressing and the reason Willock's got space in that area is because of what Isak's doing.
Yeah,
all of that space is because of Isak. And he even stayed on an additional 10 minutes because of the contribution to the goal. And then he knew Wilson was warming up. He gave more. It's that hunger. He deserves a 10 for that alone, just for forcing. How many times has Eddie Howe changed his mind about sub? Never seen him do that. I've never seen anything influence a decision. What Eddie Howe says happens. Yeah. And he was like, oh, okay, we'll give you 10 minutes, Isak. Don't worry, mate. I've never seen him change his mind like that. Isak deserves a 10. It was insane.
And, of course, Ian's pointing out his ball through to Bruno for the first goal was just sublime. It was superb. Great vision. Billy?
Well, I'm going to give him a 10. 3 times he contributed to that goal. 3 times. Like Alex said, he did the press. He wouldn't have throw in. The ball that came to him off the deflection had no right to get to it. He did. And then the pass to Bruno that Bruno stuck up to the far post. Yeah. A phenomenal performance. Without scoring a goal, it was a phenomenal performance. Up against 2 of the supposed best centre halves in the league. It was phenomenal. He really was.
Right. We'll ask you for both ratings for Joe Linton and Anthony Gordon. Billy, we'll start with you.
Both together?
Yeah.
I'll give both an 8. They weren't on the pitch very long, but they both contributed immensely. Joe Linton, unlucky not to score. His usual performance coming on late, it's a massive, massive plus for us with his energy and his strength. And Gordon's pace down that right flank on the counter was tantamount to us really caused them problems. Could have made a goal. The fact that Isak was too bushed to get to the far post to get there. But yeah, Gordon's work rate when he came on, although he was just coming on fresh, was great. I think he looks better for us on the right hand side than he does on the left.
Okay, Alex?
Yeah, 8s for both. Joe Linton unlucky not to score. Fingertip save onto the woodwork. And then Gordon's energy, 4 tackles in 22 minutes, meant that they couldn't really try and get back into the game because they had to be so careful of that little quick thing on that wing. It just couldn't. The substitutions were incredible. It's one of the reasons why we ended up going and getting another one. It was those 2 substitutions were just, 8s. They were amazing.
Yeah. Alex, sorry, Jack?
I'm 8 as well for the exact same reasons.
Okay. I'm going to give Joe Linton an 8 and I'm giving Gordon a 9. I thought Gordon made some tremendous tackles as well, which I think haven't really been mentioned. I thought his tracking back and his tackling
I did mention he got 4 tackles, which was mental in 20 minutes.
So that's why I'm giving him a 9. I just thought he was best performance I've seen since he signed. No doubt about that. And finally, obviously player-wise, Callum Wilson. I'm going to give Callum an 8. He scored a goal, wasn't on very long. He obviously 10 minutes or so, but he got a goal. So an 8 from me. Jack?
Yeah, same. 8. He got a goal, but I didn't really see anything else. So, 8 for me.
Okay. Billy?
Yeah, 8 for me too. Absolutely. Okay. The goal will do him wonders. But he's a different player to Isak. He doesn't give us half as much as what Isak does. When he came on 10 minutes at the end and scored, fantastic.
Yeah. And Alex?
Yeah, 8. Same reasons. Didn't do anything else beyond that, but positioned well, but the goal was very clever. Good centre forward goal, really.
Yeah. We can't give Anderson a score. He wasn't on the pitch long enough.
Why not? 12 minutes is enough.
Okay, what would you give him, Alex?
I'd give him an 8. I think he came on and he looked like he was a part of the first team. He's senior pro. He doesn't look like an academy player anymore. He's careful. He was link-up play. He was looking after the ball. He was trying to be aggressive with it, contributing in the press. I think he's well deserving of a rating. I thought he was brilliant. He doesn't look like a child anymore.
Well, we'll all give him an 8 then. And I suppose, are we all giving Eddie Howe a 10?
Yeah.
Any objections?
Masterclass, tactical masterclass.
That's going to be on a coach's workshop in 5 years. That was brilliant.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Everything was perfect. Can't get any better than that.
And the fans, a 10 as well. They were just superb yesterday from start to finish as well.
They were integral in keeping the energy up in that first half for sure.
By the way, I've got one more photo to show you, and I just want to. It's one of those that, one of those caption things. What caption would you add to this?
Wait, cry baby.
It's Anthony that's down, of course. But Jason Tyndall, man, just look at him. I mean, Billy, you must have a good one for this.
Oh, Christ. It's just pathetic, isn't it? He's just pathetic. He looks so much like a charlatan as well, which makes it kind of worse, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I hate him before he starts.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like he's dead.
Yeah, I mean, the fact is he got up and ran straight back on the pitch. There was nothing the matter with him. Absolute nothing.
I would like to point out as well, the Man United fans complaining that it's the Glazers' fault that Ten Hag didn't get the backing for a centre forward. Well, you spent 80 million on that pathetic excuse that was laying on the floor. He's had the backing. It's been spent in the wrong ways.
Yeah.
Tough shit.
Mental. But Jason Tyndall needs to take a lot of praise as well, because he is, without a doubt, him and Eddie are just, they come as a pair. They're just fantastic.
Eddie got angry.
I know he did, yeah, and rightly so. He wasn't taking any shit.
Something special to make him snap, honestly.
I want to know what was said, because it's always been Tyndall, but for the first time, Eddie was like, no, that's too far. I really want to know what was said.
Ashley Eddie says they look like they were using a defibrillator. Well, to be honest, he went down as if he needed one, but he just got up and got on. Just
no chance of that. That squad's got no heart whatsoever.
Absolutely. Well said, Billy. Right, there you go, guys. That is the match review over and done with. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to the fantastic new members, super chats, all your comments tonight, and just for your general viewing. We've had almost 1,100 watching, which fabulous. Again, thank you so much for your support of this channel. We really do appreciate it. Spread the word. Let's help us get those subscribers up and up and up. We want to get as high as we can. We want to be one of the big boys. We're not going to, we're not going to sit here and say we don't. We do. Of course we do. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this. We want success, and with your help, we'll get there. So please do hit the like button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, come and be part of the community. Hit the subscribe button, which is free to do so. But don't forget to hit the notification bell as well, which will let you know when we upload any videos or we schedule in our lives, which are most nights of the week. Tomorrow night, it's not Fan Forum because obviously we've got a game on Wednesday. So it is the Newcastle United, West Ham United preview. Alex's graphics will be back for that one. So we'll look forward to that. And of course, our score predictions and some prize giveaways. We'll have a member giveaway as well, and we'll have a viewer giveaway for everyone else as well.
It's Bruno versus Paqueta. We didn't get to do it last time because he wasn't playing.
They're both fit this time, so this is going to be very interesting.
Exciting.
Yeah, it is. So join us for that, and then of course on Wednesday night, join myself for the watch along. Live commentary of the game right here on the Toon Review. So watch the game on the TV by all means, but knock the sound off. Sync it with the Toon Review. You just hit pause before the game starts. And then, of course, as soon as I say, right, we're underway, just press play. And then you're synced up with me and we can all watch the match together with commentary from us instead of the bell ends on Sky. But that is it. Thank you very much for watching. Mods, thank you so much again in the chat. Thank you to Jack, Billy and Alex. And we will see you back here at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Enjoy the rest of the evening, folks, and we will see you very soon. Take care. Good night.
How are the lads? Come on!